book begins with Wanda Maximoff and Hope Summers, and their place in their respective team. Since Avengers Disassembled and House of M, Wanda has become an outcast to the members of the Avengers, as well as her own people. Despite saving several Avengers in issue 0, Hope Summers, however, is the savior of her people. However, appears to not really understand her purpose. Hope steals a jetpack so she can go be a superhero, which is revealed is something that she does regularly. Scott Summers confronts her, leading to an argument between the two. Hope then blasts Cyclops with an optic blast that she copies from him, and escapes. Hope then confronts the Serpent Society, who attempt to rob a bank. Hope defeats them, but is stopped by the X-Men from going too far. Scott then declares her training is about to begin. The main story starts with Nova hurtling towards Earth. His presence, however, nearly causes a plane to crash land. But luckily the Avengers are on site and manage to save the day. The Avengers go to aid their ally, who gives them a cryptic message. The Phoenix is heading to Earth. Further investigation from the Avengers leads them to Utopia, home of the X-Men, who are busy training Hope. Scott is alerted to Captain America's presence, and Captain America tells Scott that he's taking Hope into protective custody. This results in Scott attacking Captain America, igniting a war between the X-Men and the Avengers. In the ensuing chaos that follows, Wolverine and Spider-Man go after Hope. Upon seeing Wolverine, Hope incinerates him, and then escapes. Elsewhere, a team of Avengers are fighting off the Phoenix. Wolverine heals from his attack and learns that the X-Men have surrendered. However, this is revealed to be a trick, and the X-Men escape. Elsewhere, Hope builds a device in order to conceal herself from both the Avengers and the X-Men. Captain America forms several teams of Avengers in order to track Hope down. Captain America and Wolverine fight after Captain America believes Wolverine is untrustworthy, resulting in Wolverine being stranded in the Antarctic. Wolverine then ends up meeting Hope whilst the X-Men and Avengers are covering the globe. Elsewhere, the team that is fighting the Phoenix are failing to win. Wolverine takes Hope to the moon, where they meet up with the Avengers. The X-Men also arrive, along with them, the Phoenix. As X-Men fight Avengers, Iron Man activates a super weapon, which splits the Phoenix into 5 entities, stopping Hope from completing her destiny. The Phoenix 5, consisting of Scott, Emma Frost, Namor, Magik, and Colossus. The Phoenix 5, together, then immediately set to work on achieving Charles Xavier's dream, reshaping the world into a brighter future. The Avengers coordinate an attack on the Utopia in order to extract Hope. Meanwhile, in Kunlun, Li Kung visits his master to reveal the Phoenix has returned. The Phoenix, it seems, has been to Earth before, in 1596. With the X-Men declaring a ceasefire and offering peace, the Avengers' mission to extract Hope nearly fails. It's only the timely arrival of Scarlet Witch which saves the Avengers and Hope. Scott Summers is attacked by Scarlet Witch, causing him and the X-Men to go after the Avengers. As the war continues to unfold, the X-Men begin taking prisoners, with Scarlet Witch being the only thing that can stop the Phoenix Five. Kunlun goes to the Avengers and reveals that he must train Hope so she can defeat the Phoenix. Whilst elsewhere, the Phoenixes coordinate an attack with Namor objecting to Scott's plan. Emma reveals to him that she knows the location of Hope, resulting in Namor attacking Wakanda, forcing the Avengers to escape, whilst Captain America and Black Panther fight Namor. Namor easily overpowers them and their team of Avengers. However, it's Wanda who finally defeats Namor, only to empower the Phoenix Five. Xavier confronts Scott and tells him that he will stop them. The Avengers sustain heavy losses as the war rages on, with no plan or backup. The Avengers struggle to keep Hope, including Spider-Man. The X-Men desert Utopia as the remaining Phoenix Five members become corrupted. Elsewhere, the Avengers go on a mission to save their teammates. They meet Charles Xavier, who aids them. Magik and Colossus easily overpower them. However, Spider-Man stays behind, allowing the Avengers to escape. Spider-Man is then pummeled by Magik and Colossus as he attempts to turn the two against one another. Scott arrives in Kunlun to extract Hope, and is empowered with both Colossus and Magik, Phoenix's parts. Scott attacks Kunlun as Xavier gathers the X-Men to aid the Avengers against Scott and Emma. Meanwhile, Kunlun attacks Scott with the Crimson Dragon, which injures Scott. This allows Hope to absorb the beast's power and manages to send Scott to the moon. The Avengers and X-Men team up to fight Scott and Emma. Xavier personally faces Scott. However, things quickly escalate, resulting in Scott stealing Emma's portion of the Phoenix Force and becomes the Dark Phoenix. Can the combined might of the Avengers and X-Men stop Scott Summers, or will they perish before the power of the Dark Phoenix?
The reason why I wanted to tackle Avengers vs. X-Men is because this book began Marvel Now. Prior to Avengers vs. X-Men, a lot of stories were highlighting on heroes fighting other heroes. And Avengers vs. X-Men basically closed that era in Marvel between Avengers Disassembled and Avengers vs. X-Men. And I think that makes Avengers vs. X-Men probably a key story if you're trying to get into Marvel now. Because there are a lot of things that are happening in this book that I feel are very, very worth reading, particularly if you're reading X-Men. I absolutely love this book. Just as a general comic book, it's so fun to read, in my opinion. There are so many great elements in this book that I just really enjoyed. Yes, there are problems with the book, but overall, I enjoyed this book as a story piece. Again, there are a lot of things happening in this book with the Avengers and with the X-Men themselves. Although a lot of it is X-Men centered, because that's really where the major conflict begins, is between the Avengers, with the X-Men, sorry. But the Avengers have sort of like this bigger, sort of do have their own little stories as well. Particularly with Iron Man, and I really liked with Iron Man that, because Iron Man is a man of science. Everything he does has a scientific approach to a problem, and in this book, Tony has to think outside of science. Like, in one part of this book, Black Panther actually says, look, science isn't going to get you. Science isn't working for this problem. You have to think in the scope between science and magic. And I love sort of the exploration of Tony Stark sort of trying to understand the meaning of magic and faith, and having to think beyond scientific means. Major elements of Black Panther, which play an important role in the new Avengers story. Because Black Panther actually loses his home attacked by Namor, which causes a huge conflict between those characters in New Avengers. And I don't know very much about Black Panther, but I definitely liked Black Panther in this story. My only complaint in this book is Black Panther and Storm. I felt like a lot happened to these two characters, and I think for a lot of fans, the marriage annulment was one of the key things that I think made people dislike this book. But I do think a lot of things happened to these to both Storm and Black Panther. I don't think enough was explained. I think that part of the book was rushed a bit. I absolutely loved the Phoenix Five's costumes. There's a great scene, just their costumes in this book were great. Like, that's the costumes. And I just really liked the costumes. More specifically, I liked Cyclops' Magic's and Emma Frost. I just thought their costumes looked really, really good. And actually, I wouldn't have minded actually seeing those costumes a bit more. Let's talk about Cyclops. I've said on numerous occasions that's in my Uncanny X-Men reviews, is that Cyclops' development, having read Uncanny X-Men and then reading this book, Avengers vs. X-Men is the transition point that saw Cyclops become the man that he is in Uncanny X-Men. In the Uncanny X-Men version, Cyclops is a lot more darker, and the way he views the world is more closer to that of Magneto, and I think it boils down to the fact that Cyclops is a lot more proactive than Xavier, and a lot of the conflict for Cyclops is with Xavier. Xavier is the person that Cyclops blames for the fact that mutants aren't accepted in normal society. And I might be a bit off there, but I definitely liked the way Cyclops' mind was working. And this book proves the fact that Cyclops should just stay away from all telepaths. I feel like all of the people that have been inside his mind, Jean Grey, Xavier, Emma Frost, all these people have sort of given him this vision, this perspective. And yeah, I just really, really liked the book, liked that aspect of the book. As with the other Phoenix five members, I really liked Emma Frost. I thought the Phoenix corrupting her and making her back to the version becoming a villain was really interesting. And I really liked Magic King Colossus for the most part. Namor was the big question mark for me. I didn't really like Namor. Then again, nobody does like Namor because he is such a douche. But I was a bit confused about why Namor was here. I didn't realize Namor was a mutant, and I didn't realize that he thought of himself as a mutant. But apparently he does, and he creates a lot of problems by doing so. Yeah, I didn't really like Namor. I like the conflict he provided for Black Panther, and I think Namor being in the new Avengers is going to be interesting. But yeah, I didn't really like Namor. I would have rather have seen a character to take his place. Hope Summers. I felt Hope Summers was really underplayed in this book. I would have liked to have seen more of Hope Summers. She's supposed to be like this major character in this book, and I really don't think that was played out much. like, Hope Summers is supposed to be this mutant messiah, and she really didn't play that way. And I would have liked her to have done. And I wanted a lot more Hope Summers, and I think honestly I wanted more perspective from Scarlet Witch. Because these two women are in issue 0 and issue 12 are played up as key members of how to defeat the Phoenix Five, and but they don't really play such an important role. I like the fact that they're both very strong females. I like the fact that it's, for a change, the females who save the day. I just wanted to see more of these two play a major role in this story. A, because Scarlet Witch was the woman who caused the problem in the first place, and Hope Summers because she is the mutant messiah, and I think, and also I think the fact that she's not seen anywhere in Marvel now. I just want to see more of these two characters develop. Finally, we get onto the death of Charles Xavier. Really, really well played. The book kind of leaves it open-ended. Was it the Avengers' fault? Or was it the X-Men? Both parties play a huge role in making this war happen. And it sort of speaks to Reed Richards' prediction in Civil War about what would happen if these forces battled. And we do kind of see the results of that. All in all, guys, this book is really, really good. And I think it deserves a 4.5 out of 5. I would love to give it a 5 out of 5. I really would. But it's a 4.5 out of 5 because of the minor complaints that I have for the book. But it definitely deserves a read. It's a major part of Marvel now. It's the final book that sort of ends an era in Marvel that saw a lot of infighting between the heroes, between the hero community.